I want to share a story that was told to me by a young lady probably about 4 years ago now. She was on Snapchat one night when one of the boys in her school, she was from a fancy school in Melbourne, one of the boys in her school sent her a message and said, "Hey," and she said, "Hey," and they started chatting on Snapchat, sending each other snaps. And then the boy asked her what she was wearing. She felt uncomfortable with the question but didn't know how to respond. So she told him the truth that she was wearing her pajamas. And he started to ask some inappropriate questions about how she was dressed with those pajamas. And I won't go into the detail. We don't need to go through step by step what he asked. But eventually he asked her to send something explicit, an image of herself without her top on. And she called him a few names. She told him where to go. She said, "No, leave me alone." Then he sent her an image of a knife against his leg and said, "I need you to. If you don't, I'm going to end up hurting myself. I need your help." And so she said, "Well, what are you talking about? What are you saying?" His response was, "I'm going to hurt myself if you don't." So essentially, he blackmailed her. He threatened to self harm if she didn't send explicit images of herself to him. She went backwards and forwards trying to convince him, trying to talk him down off the ledge. He kept on escalating and getting more and more serious until she panicked and sent the image. Rather than reaching out to a parent or a sibling or a friend, she panicked and sent the image. As it happened, her big sister was looking after her. Her parents were overseas on a work trip together. They worked in a business together and they were working, and they weren't there in the first place. But before she sent the image, she demanded assurance from him that her image would be safe with him, that he would not share it anywhere. He assured her, promised her that he would do the right thing by her. She sent the image. And within about 10 minutes, she began to receive messages from friends in her grade at school asking, "Is this you?" They were sending her the image that she had sent him. He'd screenshotted it, he'd shared it with the grade, it had gone around the school in about 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, her world felt like it was caving in. She felt like she was being crushed by the pressure. She freaked out. She told her sister, who called her parents overseas, who then, one of them booked themselves on the first flight home. And there were all kinds of ramifications that came from this. But once again, where do we get this situation? Is it unlikely? Highly. But when it happens to your son or your daughter, it's a problem. Just last week, I had a parent who sent me a message and explained that their teenage son had been chatting with somebody online, a girl who he'd met in Instagram DMs, who'd sent some really saucy pictures and said, "I want you to send something to me of you." He was a teenage boy who was kind of a little bit heated up in the moment, and so he sent an image of himself. And then the person that he sent it to said, "Actually, I'm not who you think I am. This is me. I'm a scammer from overseas, and if you don't send me some money right now, I'm going to send the image that you sent me to everybody that you love." This young man responded, said, "No way, it's not true, you're lying to me," etc. And then the scammer said, "Actually, it is true, and here's the screenshot that I've taken of all of the contacts that I have from your Facebook page and all the people that I'm connecting with and all the things that I'm doing here, and this is what I can do to you if you don't send me the money." This stuff is happening. Our kids, both as victims and perpetrators, are involved in explicit and awful chats. They're involved in the dissemination of explicit content, of pornography. They're looking at the stuff, they're finding it, they're sharing it with others, they're making sure that everybody knows that it's out there and they can get access to it, and they know what's going on because they've got to be cool like all of the others. They've got to be able to say, "Yeah, I get it, I'm cool, I'm here."